Namaste. Welcome. I'm Laura from Budding Rose Yoga. Welcome to practice today. Today's going to be a Vinyasa Flow practice, looking at balance, looking at lengthening the hamstrings, playing around with Hanumanasana splits. So grab your yoga mat, a block or two if you have one, and let's get started. So coming into child's pose to begin, you can either bring the knees together and sit back onto your heels, or take the knees as wide as your yoga mat. Allow the arms to reach out in front. Let the head relax onto the floor. And just take a couple of moments here to pause, to be still. You're just really recognizing that you've taken this time out for yourself today. You've created these moments for yourself, for your yoga. Just beginning to turn down the volume of the external world, even though you might still be aware of the sounds coming from around you. And as you turn down the volume, begin to tune in a little bit more to your internal environment, how you're feeling today, how your body feels. Feeling the ground beneath you, from the tops of your feet, ankles, shins and knees. The parts of your arms that are resting on the ground, the head, and anywhere else that is coming into contact with the floor. And then start to bring your attention to your breath and allow it to flow smoothly in and out through your nose. Maybe taking your attention into the belly, and let the belly feel really expansive as you take each inhale. And as you exhale, a real softening as the breath empties. And maybe we can find Ujjayi breathing here, squeezing the base of the throat, allowing a gentle vibration to consume your attention, both physically and mentally. And then start to slowly bring your attention into the palms, into the fingertips. We'll take our weight really slowly forward, coming into a tabletop position. And then from tabletop, beginning to explore cat and cow as you draw the shoulders back. Take a deep breath in, filling the belly. And as you exhale, press the floor away, let the back round as you pull the navel to draw toward the spine. And again, inhaling, shoulders pulling back, the tailbone and the chest lifting. And as we exhale, pressing the floor away, rounding through spine. Another round, inhale. And exhale. And then to neutral, from here into downwards facing, let the hands creep a little further forward. Tuck the toes and lift the knees, send the chest backward. And allow there to be a little bit of exploration to begin with, maybe bending your knees one at a time, exploring how the legs feel. So as I mentioned, we'll be doing a fair bit of work into the legs today, into the hamstrings, so the set of muscles in the back of the thigh. So if you're feeling a little bit of tenderness there, maybe the knees remain slightly soft, pressing into the mound of the big toe to keep the legs relatively engaged here.
allowing the thigh bones to spin gently outward. The chest pressing backward, armpits moving away from the floor. So the real sense of intention to press the floor away rather than collapsing down into our joints. Smoothing your breath here. One more round. And then look forward and begin to walk your feet forward, joining together in between hands. And with knees soft, come all the way up to standing, slowly peeling up. And then as you lift the head and draw the shoulders back, take an inhale to reach the arms above the head. And then exhale to pull the hands in front of the heart. And I invite you to take a pause here. Take a moment, maybe with your eyes closed, to think about what this practice means to you. What do you need from your time on your mat today? Set an intention that invites you to stay present, that invites you to stay aware, and one that is wholesome and loving and supportive of you. And let us dedicate our practice to someone else. Maybe there's somebody in your life at the moment that really needs your energy, needs some positivity, needs some uplifting energy. Maybe you can bring them into your attention, dedicate your practice to them. And then drawing to your breath, inhale, exhale through nose. Let the arms reach up, offer your prayer to the sky. Look up and see your thumbs. Dive forward as you exhale, bring the hands down, soften the knees. Inhale, half lift, looking forward, spine is long. Both feet back into plank as you exhale, pressing the floor away. Inhale as you hold, and exhale as you lower the knees and bring the chest in between the thumbs. Find cobra, lift the shoulders and the chest. And then pressing back into downwards facing, tucking feet, lifting the knees, pressing the hips high. Smooth inhale for 4. Steady breath 3. Relaxing the face 2, jaw relaxed. 1. And then as you look forward, lift heels, bend knees, walk or hop your feet forward. Joining feet in between palms. Coming all the way up to stand, reach the prayer up, look up, see thumbs. And we dive forward as we exhale completely, relaxing the face. Half lift, inhale, look forward, long spine. Right foot back as you exhale, bring the knee down and let the arms reach all the way up. And if you're comfortable too, the palms join together. If this feels too strong for your shoulders, keep the arms apart, or you can always bring your hands onto your hips. And either looking forward out in front, fix your gaze, or look up to see your thumbs for 4. Smooth breath. 5. Lower the hands to the floor, we find down dog, stepping the front foot back, hips high. Inhale, we find plank, shoulders creep forward. Exhale, chaturanga, or lower the knees. Breathing in for up dog, and breathing out for downward facing dog. Without lifting the right leg, take a step forward with your right foot. Drop the left knee down. And this time come back into half split, so let the hips curl back, the toes curling toward the face. And I want you to be attentive around the hips and the lower back. And allow your right hip to move downward as the front of your left hip slides slightly forward. And then an inhale to fill the belly and the chest. And exhale to soften forward, perhaps into a fold. But be cautious, don't feel like you need to rush. Deep breath in, expand. Complete exhale to soften. We're going to be here for one more breath. Deep inhale. And complete exhale. We take the weight forward as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up, look up. And exhale, dive forward and down, forehead to shins. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, look forward. Left foot back, knee down as you exhale. Arms reach up, breathing in. And exhale, we stay. Deep breaths. Staying for 3. Let the hips descend down and forward slightly. As your arms are reaching you up, allowing your fingertips to ascend upward. So there's a real opposing force as the hips guide you down and the arms reach you and lengthen you up. And then we take the hands to the floor, we find down dog, right foot steps back. Find plank on your inhale, shoulders forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downwards facing. Left foot forward, don't lift it, just step it forward. Drop the right knee, uncurl the toes, and this time back into your half splits. Hips guiding you back, walk your hands back under shoulders if you need. Curl the toes for more sensation. If it feels too strong, relax into the leg. Breathe in and fill the front body. So really expansive and nourishing. And as you exhale, relax into the fold, but don't force it just yet. Yeah, we've still got time to go. Yeah, inhale. And exhale. One more time, breathing in. Dissolve any tension around your face. Exhale. Breathe in, prepare, weight forward. As we exhale, forward fold, feet together. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach up, look, see thumbs. And exhale, dive forward and down. Half lift, look forward, prepare. So step or hop both feet back to plank as you exhale. Keep the breath outside, lower. Then inhale to your up dog. Then exhale into downwards facing. We take weight into the left leg now, rise the right leg up. Keep your hips square, tension in your hips. Broaden the sole of your right foot so your right leg is active and switched on. And as you press into the hands, the chest moving backward, I really want you to send your left heel down toward your yoga mat. Squaring through the chest, one more breath in. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders forward, land the foot between palms. And this time we're going to stay here, high lunge. Your back knee off the floor, back heel lifted. But take your arms out in front of you. Fingers reaching forward, arms glued to your ears. Chin to the chest, look to your right big toe for 3. Powerful legs. 4, 5, reach all the way up into high lunge. Let the hips descend you down into the space as your arms reach up and lengthen your side body, expanding, grounding, smoothing your breath. And then we lower the hands, keep the feet where they are, the back heel off the floor, and let your hips move back in space. So working here to straighten out the front leg. If you have any hypermobility issues, don't lock out your front knee. Keep a micro bend in the front leg. Or if you're quite happy, let the front knee extend, straighten. Again, into your breath as you inhale, lift. And as you exhale, fold. Now I want you to think about, as you inhale now, reach the crown of your head towards your right big toe. Yeah, so lengthen out your front body. As you exhale, fold forehead to shin. And again, lengthen out your front body. Inhale. And exhale to fold. Do that one more time. Lengthen out. Breathe in. And fold as you exhale. And then lift the chest and the head and we prepare here. You can use blocks under your hands if you need to. Pivot the back heel to the floor. Right hand is going to stay on the outside of your right foot, your right leg, on your yoga mat. Or you're going to bring your hand onto your shin here for extended triangle. Left hand to the hip. And as you draw the hand to the hip, draw the shoulder back, the chest rotates to the left side. If you feel content to do so, take the left arm up to the sky. And again, if this feels too much, too strong, bring your right hand onto your right ankle or shin. Chest pulling back in space. If you feel comfortable, look up and see your thumb with your right eye. Smooth breath. Staying here too. And 1, look to the floor, bending the front knee, warrior 2. So as you lift up, the feet don't change, the legs don't change. Settling down into the space, the hips descending down. Powerful arms as your fingers reach away from one another. Gazing towards your right middle finger, one more breath here.
And we arch back into reverse warrior. Right arm reaches up, left arm reaches back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, front leg extends. I'm going to bring my back foot in slightly here. We come back into triangle. Take your right arm beyond your right foot and then down to the shin or ankle. I want you to rest on your leg right now, so you're weight bearing. Left arm is reaching up for a moment before we invite the arm behind the back into a half bind. Now you might just let the hands sit, or you might be able to bring the fingers into the crease of your right hip and thigh here, and that's okay. Shoulder pulling back in space. And then look down towards your foot. I'm going to will you to reach your right arm forward now. So reach it off the floor and reach it forward. The chest is still facing the left. We're looking forward toward our right fingers. We're breathing steadily. 2, 1. Right hand back down to the ankle. Keep your bind if you can. And begin to bend the front knee. The chest still facing the left side. We tease into a balance, half moon. So begin to take your weight into the right foot and allow the left leg to lift up behind you. Keep the half bind if you can. Broaden the sole of your left foot, the one that's in the air. And if you wobble and fall out, that's totally okay. One more breath wherever you are. And then like a feather, land back into warrior two. Windmill the arms open as you breathe in. And then hands to the floor as you exhale back your lifts. Take the weight into the palms and keep your right knee into the chest as you pick the foot off the floor and point your toes back. Loaded plank. Send the right leg high, deep breath in. Bring the knee back to the nose as you exhale, shoulders forward. And inhale, right leg rises. And we're going to keep the right leg in the air. Look to the space in between the thumbs. Now that space is where I want you to bring your left foot. Right, so the one that you're standing on. And you're going to take little hops to get there. Doesn't matter what they look like, but you're going to use your right leg as a lever to hop and hop. Your left foot in between your hands. Find yourself into a standing split at the top of your mat. Right leg is lifted. You're balancing on your left foot, gazing down towards your left big toe. And your option now, yogis, to either keep the hands where they are, or maybe take one or both behind your left ankle. So really playing with your balance. Don't get hung up if you wobble. Remember, we all have to start somewhere. And wobbling isn't failure. Wobbling, falling over is just trying and practice. One more breath. And then hands to the floor, join the feet together. Take a deep bend in your knees, let your legs take a sigh of relief. Then we take chair pose, reach the arms forward and up, deep breath in. Fold the body forward as you exhale. And as you fold along the length of the legs, interlace fingers and bring forehead to shins, arms away from your lower back. Keep the arms where they are, bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, we fold. Do that one more time. Sweep the floor, breathe in, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, interlace your fingers. Inhale, keep the arms where they are, bend your knees. And exhale, tip forward and fold. Take the hands to the floor, take the feet a little bit wider. Your option, your choice, if you need to bring something underneath your hands right now, do so. Yeah, a block, a book, anything you need to that's sturdy. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to keep your hands on the floor, okay? So hands on the floor out in front, flat if you can. Take the weight into your left foot, and your right leg's going to lift out to the side. So directly out to the side, in line with your hip. And then bring it back. Maybe you can hover, and then lift it out. Take a deep breath, and exhale to come back. And again, lift, and bring back. Last time, lift and hold it. Hold it out there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 5, don't give up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way back to center. And then cross your right foot behind your left. Yeah, if you need to readjust that, that's completely okay. So the left leg is in front. Hands to the heels. Invite yourself to fold. Relaxing your head. Smoothing out your breath. Good, one more breath here. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly think about coming all the way up to standing. Slowly peeling up. So we're still in a cross-legged position. Okay? And here, I want you to fix your gaze out in front of you. And if you're watching, you're going to do your best to do these things at the same time, right? You're going to listen, but also fix your drishti, right? So fix your gaze. Take the arms up as you inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, we lower the hands. So we're going to keep doing that. Maybe we can lift the heels off the floor as we reach the arms up. And as we exhale, we slowly bring the heels down. And then again, inhale, let the arms reach up, let the heels rise. And exhale, we lower. Last and final time, let the heels rise up. But this time as we lower the hands, we keep the heels off the floor. Now from here, begin to bend your knees to the side as you lower your hips down, like you're taking a plie. Yeah, so bend in the knees. The knees begin to point out and lower as far as you can before you need to lean forward. And in that final moment where you lean forward, you bring the hands to the floor, shoulder width. Keep your feet crossed if you can and lean the knees forward into the back of the arms, so into the triceps, above the elbows. Fix your gaze in front of you. Maybe you can begin to lift the feet, keep the ankles crossed. Point your toes, keep squeezing your knees into the back of your arms. Smoothing your breath. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the feet crossed as you bring them back onto the floor. And then as you uncross your front leg, which is your left, take a big step back with your left foot, keeping the right foot forward. And then from here, your left hand on the ground to support you, turn your front foot to the side. So your right toes are going to turn to the side. And as you do that, notice that there's an inclination to come onto the outer edge of your back foot. You can do this with your left knee down if you need. Yeah, that's totally okay. But I'm going to invite you, if you can, to keep the hip off the floor, okay? Keep the knee off the floor. Take the arm up as you inhale, and as you exhale, reach the arm behind you, and then you're going to sink down through that left hip. And then press the floor away, inhale, reach the hip, and reach the arm overhead. Exhale, lower and hover. And again, lift up on the in-breath, and lower and hover on the exhale. Last and final time, breathe in, breathe out. And then we lift and we hold. So we're pressing into the left hand, we're coming onto the outside edge of the back foot, preparing to either stay here, maybe this is where you're at, or the front foot is going to step behind, and we begin to land in wild thing. So nothing else changes other than the right foot steps behind us. Let the hips rise up, lift the chest and reach the right arm forward. Looking to your thumb, steady breath. And I want you to either stay here or begin to tease into side plank. And maybe your right knee can lift into your right hand as you press the floor away. Lift your underside hip off the floor. You've got this. And then a step forward with your right foot. Woohoo! Bring your left knee to the ground. Let the arms reach all the way up. We come back into low lunge. Palms together, exhale, sink down. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. And let's take the hands to the floor. Come off the back knee. From here, I'm going to ask you to once more come into this very familiar shape that we were here just before. So the front knee is bent, the back heel is off the floor, arms reaching out in front. But this time, bring the hands in prayer at the heart, elbows away from each other. Keep the chin away from the chest, but you're looking down. And find your way to warrior 3. So as you take your weight forward, keep the chest relatively low, but don't collapse into your shoulders. Allow the left leg to rise up, hip square, the left foot broad. And then maybe we can take 3 bends of the right leg. So bending into the right knee, lower. And as you press the floor away and lengthen, kick through your left leg. And again, bend the knee. And extend the leg. One more time, bending. And straightening. Good, and then bring the feet together. Soften knees, inhale, reach arms all the way up. And then sigh it out through your mouth. And again, inhale, reach. And exhale, hands together. A full salutation. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, dive forward, soften knees. Half lift, inhale, look forward. Exhale, plank, step the feet back. Lower chaturanga. Upwards facing. Downwards facing dog. And remember, if you need to stop or pause, just take your time. Yeah, hang out in child's pose at any time that you need. But finding your way back to a smooth and steady breath is going to sustain your practice. Ujjayi breath. One more here. And then left leg rises up. Inhale, keep the hips square. We're going to pause here. And then just checking. The hips are square. The chest is pressing back. And we're grounding through the right heel wherever possible. Let the knee move to the nose. Let the foot land between the hands. And from here we let the arms reach all the way up to sky. You can do this if you need with your back knee on the floor. Let the hips descend down. Let the arms reach and lengthen your side body. If comfortable, the palms join. We look and see thumbs. One more breath. And then slowly chin to chest, look down. Bring the hands to the floor. Let the hips lift up as you fold forward and down. Inhale, lengthen, crown of head to big toe. And exhale to fold. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, lengthen. And fold. Lift to prepare, pivot the back heel in. Left hand stays on the floor outside edge of left foot if you can. Otherwise, bring the hand to the ankle. Right hand to the hip. So you press into the left hand and feet. Maybe your chest spins to the right, your right arm rises up. Looking to thumb if comfortable for 3, 2, 1. Look to the floor, bend the front knee, warrior 2. Press into the feet to rise up. Arms reaching away from each other, softening down into the seat of your pelvis. Good. From here, we arch back into reverse warrior. Deep breath in. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, reach forward and beyond your foot. Take the hand down to the shin or ankle. I want you to wait there. The right arm reaches up. A transition before we find half bind. So take the arm behind your back. Maybe the fingers can nestle into the crease of the hip. Pull the right shoulder back in space. If this is enough, I want you to stay here. We'll look to the floor and begin to reach your left arm forward. Keep reaching. Keep spinning your chest to the side for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hand to the ankle, look down. Stay in your half bind. Bend the front knee, tip the weight forward. Maybe you can play with your half moon. Powerful left leg. Right leg lifts behind. Steady gaze. Smooth breath. One more breath. Then warrior 2, bend the front knee and release. Inhale. Hands to the floor as you exhale, lift the back heel. We take the weight forward, keep the weight forward. Keep the left knee into the chest as you peel the toes and point them back. 3-legged dog, the left lifts from high. Knee to nose, exhale. Inhale, send the leg high. And we pause here, but look forward. So remember, we want to bring the right foot where we're looking. And do your best to do that. I know that you will. You're going to will yourself into your little hops. Maybe you have to come to the fingertips, and that's okay. And then you land in your standing splits, and you're like, boy, I made it. And you're either going to keep your hands on the floor or play with your balance. Maybe the hands draw to the back of the right ankle. Chest is slightly lifted. Leg in the air is powerful.
switched on, strong and engaged. And then join your feet, bend your knees deeply. Take a deep breath in, let your arms rise up. Fold forward, exhale, catch the hands behind you. Breathe in, bend knees, look forward, lift chest. And exhale to fold. And again, inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, tip forward, Uttanasana, interlace fingers. Bend the knees, modify chair pose, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Take the hands to the floor, take the feet a little bit wider. And from here we begin to take weight into palms and right foot. I'm going to try and take the left leg out to the side. So making sure it's on a trajectory that is out rather than forward or back. Especially if there's any tightness around the hip, there's a tendency to want to take it behind us. And you really want to take it out to the side, even if it's just a micro lift, a tiny, tiny lift. Okay, use your blocks if you need under hands. Let the left leg lift up and then bring it back. Inhale and exhale. And again, breathe in, breathe out. Last time, lift and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back across it behind your right foot. Take a pause. Maybe the hands at the back of the ankles, invite yourself into a fold. And just noticing wherever you experience that in the legs. Yeah, maybe you're feeling it elsewhere. Just taking a pause. And then we softly roll all the way up. Take your time to lift the head and fix your gaze. Squaring hips. Try to be attentive around the lower back so that your bum isn't sticking up. We want to try and lengthen the tailbone down and away. Arms reaching up on the in-breath. Exhale, the hands join together in front of the heart. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. This time with the heels, breathe in, rise up. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, arms reach, heels lift. And exhale, we lower. Last time we're going to hold it if we can. So inhale, reach up, heels off the floor. As you exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart, but keep your heels off the floor. Maybe you can close your eyes for 5. Don't worry if you fall out, it's all part of the fun. 4, 3, keep pressing the floor away. 2, and 1. We bend the knees and we descend down, but keep pressing the floor away. The heels are still lifted. The very last moment, lean forward. Bring the hands onto the floor, shoulder width. Knees nestle into the triceps. Tease your weight forward just enough. Shoulders moving toward the ground so the hips rise up. And then find your sweet spot if you can. Point your toes, squeeze your ankles for 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet down. Well done. Take a big step back with your right foot all the way back. Left foot in between the hands. The right hand stays on the floor. We turn the left toes to the side and come onto the outer edge of the back foot. Lengthen the left arm up as we breathe in. As we exhale, the arm reaches back and the hips lower. Inhale, press floor away, let the hips rise, reach the arm overhead. Exhale, lower and hover. Breathe in, lift. And breathe out to lower. One more time. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out to lower. Then we lift and hold, so the hips are lifted, pressing into the right hand. So much so that perhaps you can take that step behind with your left foot. And then when you land here, I really want you to think about spinning your hips to the ceiling. Spin your left shoulder back. Open the chest. Reach your left arm forward. Look to the thumb if you can. Wild thing. Strong, open-hearted, courageous yogis. And then slowly prepare for your side plank. So look to the ground. Keep the weight into the right side. And then lift your left knee into your left hand if you can. Pausing here. 3, 2, 1. Big step forward. Drop the right knee down. You made it. Well done. And let the arms reach all the way up. Palms join. Heavy hips. pelvis descending forward, reaching the gaze up to fingertips. Smooth breath. And then let's lower the hands, coming off the back knee, tucking the toes under. Take a moment, let the arms reach out in front, gluing your arms to your ears. The hands together in front of the heart. Keep your gaze low here as you transition into Warrior 3. Taking your weight forward. The back leg, use it as a lever, right? To move the chest and the torso. Try not to collapse forward. We're not forward folding here. So think about this beautiful extension between your heel and the crown of your head. Maybe this is where you're at. Or you can take 3 little bends in the left leg. And then as you lift up, power through your lifted leg. Bending and lifting. One more time. Lift. And then join your feet together. You made it. Deep breath in, reach up. Exhale through your mouth. And again, breathe in, lift up. And exhale through the mouth. From here, yogis, we come into Garudasana, eagle. So I'm going to invite you to take your left arm on top of your right. Either working to cross wrists, bringing the palms together, or if this feels unattainable, bringing the hands to the opposite shoulder is enough, okay? But whichever variation you have, I really want you to think about lifting the elbows away from your chest. And if you have the hands on shoulders, walk your hands away from each other. So we're really trying to open the back body, the upper back. Or alternatively, you're going to be here. And if you're here quite comfortably, make it really active. So press the forearms into one another so the chest is working and the upper back is opening. Look beyond your forearms, take a deep bend in the knees. We transition the weight into the left foot, peel the right foot off the floor, and then cross the legs, right leg on top. I really want you to be conscious that you're not standing on a straight leg, right? So making sure that your supported leg is bent. If you can, you're going to tuck the foot behind. Don't worry if that double bind isn't there for you. Steady breath, sinking deeply. 3, 4, and 5. Press into the supported foot, unravel the right leg. Keep the arms if you can. And I want you to think about extending your right leg behind you, tip the shoulders slightly forward. And then turn the leg in the air out so we come into half moon. Slowly, slowly, I want you to think about unraveling the arms. The left fingers point to the floor, the right fingers reach to the ceiling. Maybe you can hover, maybe there's a moment, or maybe the hand comes down. Take a big step back, Warrior 2. Breathe in. As you exhale, straighten the front leg, turn the toes to the side. Let the hands find the hips. Take a deep breath in, broaden the chest. As you exhale, tip forward and fold, wide angle. So making as much room as you can between the feet so that you can bring the chest forward and down. Maybe the hands land on the floor. Maybe that's where you're at. Fingers in line with your toes, perhaps. Maybe the elbows are bent. And if you have it in your practice and you want to take headstand, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, staying here with me for 3 more breaths. Smoothing out any hard or jagged edges of your breath. Coming back to that nourishing and powerful and inspiring Ujjayi breathing. Coming to tips of fingers, lifting the chest. Walk the hands around to the top of the mat, spinning on your feet. From here, taking the weight into the palms, peel your right knee, so your left knee into your chest, your toes point back. Send the left leg high again, inhale. Knee to the nose, breathe out. Inhale, let it rise up. Exhale, knee to nose. This time bring the foot between palms and lower the right knee down. I'm curling the back toes. We revisit our half splits. So curling the hips back, drawing the left toes up toward the face to create more sensation if that's what you need. And I'm going to invite you, maybe the hands walk out in front, inviting the body to lengthen. And maybe on this time, on this round, you feel there's a little bit more space. Maybe the body has just softened a little bit more, allowing you to fold with a little bit more ease. Yeah, now there's a little bit more warmth, a little bit more heat and fire in the body. So never feeling like you need to force it, always taking your time. Another breath. Taking the weight forward, come off the back knee, we find plank, left foot back, breathe in. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Look to the space between palms, lift heels, bend knees. Step or hop your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up, deep breath, look up, see thumbs. Bring hands in front of heart as you breathe out. Garudasana, second side. The right arm sits on top. Draw your gaze through the arms, so you're really looking beyond now. Bend the knees deeply, take the weight into your right foot. Peel your left leg up and across. Squeeze and roll your inner thighs together. If there's space, you tuck the foot behind your right leg, but don't worry if not. Sinking deeply. Steady breath, 3, 4, and 5. Unravel the legs, keep the foot off the floor if you can get away with it. As you lean forward, slowly extend the left leg back, turning your toes out, turning your hip out. And then when you feel the need arises, unravel your arms, maybe the right hand dances off the floor as your left arm reaches to sky. A moment, perhaps, of balance before you land back into Virabhadrasana 2. Breathe in. And as you exhale, straighten and turn the toes to the side. From here, I'm going to turn around, you don't need to. From here, we come into goddess pose. So turning the heels slightly in, we bend the knees and draw the arms up above the head. We keep the knees bent, but draw the elbows down into cactus arms. So sinking into the hips here. And if you feel comfortable, you want to rise up onto the balls of your feet. So you're really working to press the floor away, but at the same time, descending down into your hips. Your breath is going to help you on this one. For 3, 2, and 1. From here into Skandasana, so coming to the back of the mat, bringing the weight into the left foot, allowing the right leg to extend, the toes lifting to the sky. Can we come back into goddess from here? So really powering through the legs. This time, catch a hold of your thumbs, make a fist. Ego squashing mudra. So the thumb is the ego. We're wrapping it around, squeezing, descend the hips to the floor. Beautiful, maybe heels lift off the ground. For 3, 2, and 1, and then to the other side, hands together. Now you can see, for me, I need to lift my heel, but I'm really working to bring the foot flat. So whatever's available to you guys, whatever feels available to you. And then we come back into goddess pose. So powerful legs, catch your thumbs, make a fist. Sink deeply down into your hips. Beautiful. And then from here, we begin to turn to face the top of the mat, framing the front foot, and then hug the toes off the floor, knee to the chest, and step back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, we lower. Upwards facing dog. Over the feet into downwards facing dog. Take a moment in child's pose to bring the knees down. Set the hips back. Rest the head. Rest your shoulders. Take a pause. A well-deserved pause. Catching a hold of your breath. Catching a hold of the space. And catching a hold of your intention. Just come back to that sweet reminder as to what brought you onto your mat today. And then I want you to slowly, when you're ready, come
all the way up. So I'd like it if you have 2 blocks, to grab your 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, you can use anything that's sturdy. It can be anything. 2 toilet rolls will work a treat, okay? Or even 2 mugs turned upside down. Honestly, you don't have to have yoga blocks. But if you have, I want you to grab them, okay? And have them either size of your yoga mat, about halfway down. We'll come back into downward facing dog. And a little check-in, just noticing how you feel here compared to when you started. Without any judgment, I don't want you to criticize, but maybe just noticing if you feel a little bit more open. The body's certainly warmer. Maybe there's fatigue. It's all good, however you feel. Just take a moment to pause and observe. Okay, so we're going to take a step forward with the right foot. Lower the left knee. And then tease back into half splits. Okay, so this is where you're either going to stay. You're either going to hang out here. And I like to use my yoga blocks to take my hands onto. So the focus really can be the legs. And also, you know, if you need to be up here, you can be up here. That's totally okay. Otherwise, if you're working towards Hanumanasana, the full splits, beginning to walk your front foot forward, and maybe you can just shimmy back on your left knee or back knee, or tuck the toes under and then walk the left knee back. I find that really helps. And then with your hands staying on your yoga blocks, it's really going to invite you to keep the body upright and keep the weight moving down into the hips. And also, if you can see, I'm really finding some resistance here into my arms. So I'm almost determining how much I kind of sink into gravity. I can almost put the brakes on here by taking the weight into my hands. You can always practice with something underneath the thigh. And I do this many times, but I just like to switch it up a little bit. When I'm here, I sometimes find that there's a little bit of discomfort around my lower back. I'm kind of really forcing a lot of the energy into my left hip flexors, and also my lower back is taking a little bit. So when I bring the weight into my hands, gravity kind of just takes over. Gravity does all of the work, right? And my brakes now are here, my hands into the blocks. And then with time and with a lot of practice, and less splits comes really, really naturally to you, and it certainly doesn't come naturally to me. With time and with practice, you can just begin to find a little bit of sweetness, you know, and real fun and trusting. Really begin to trust, bringing the weight down into the belly of the thigh. Just another breath here. And then bring the weight into the palms, and notice I want you to move your shoulders slightly forward. And with doing so, we can move the hips back. Sliding the right foot back, come off the back knee into down dog. Keep your hands on your blocks if you can. I'm going to take my blocks to the smallest level, as wide as my mat, okay? Now from here, I want you to think about making your way to a seated position with your legs out in front. So you're going to look forward and you're going to visualize where you're going to land. Even if it doesn't work out the way that you think it's going to, right? You're going to do your best to visualize it. So look to where you want to go. Keep your chest low. Take a bend in the knees and begin to take the legs out in front. Maybe you can land here. And as I said, if it didn't work out that way, don't worry about it. You're going to keep practicing. And from here, yogis, we come into Navasana. So a little bit of work for the core. So walking your feet in, bending the knees. You can keep your feet on the floor. Come onto the tips of your toes. Squeeze your knees together. Reach the arms out in front. This can be enough. Stay here. Or maybe the foot, both feet, come off the ground. Try not to sit too far back into the sacrum. We really want to invite the chest to move forward. Equally, the knees moving toward the chest. Reaching the fingers forward. Smooth breath. 3, 4. and 5. And then cross your feet. Your blocks are still going to be there, hopefully, or your toilet rolls or your upside down mugs, right? And what I want you to try and get used to is this opportunity to take the weight into the palms and lift the seat and bring the knees in toward the chest. So as you do so, weight into the hands, lift the feet, lift the knees in, and then take a little sit down. We're going to do that again. So find weight into boat, Navasana. Either keep the feet on the floor or lift the knees into the chest. Look to your toes. Reach forward. 3, 2, and 1. Cross the feet, hands on blocks. Lift. And then from here, I want you to think about walking your feet back. Come into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and then sigh the breath out. Do that again. Deep breath in and let it go. Okay, so we take the left foot forward now. In between the palms, or out in front of the hands, sorry. Bring the right knee to the floor. And then we tease into our half splits. Being sure that the hips are relatively level. Pressing the back of the left knee, the back of the left thigh toward the floor. Totally stay here if this is where you're at. If your hamstrings are like your nemesis, yeah, work here. It's totally okay. Or you can even begin to walk out the foot and come into a supported variation, you know. Being here is also a nice place to work with. Or as you begin to walk the front foot away, tuck the toes on the back foot and lift the knee and walk the knee back. Making a little bit more space. Making sure your blocks move with you, they're underneath your hands. Allowing the spine to lengthen. Yeah, we're sitting the skull above the ribs, the ribs above the pelvis. So we're naturally using the weight, using the natural neutral position of the spine to descend down into the splits. Okay, but remember, these are your breaks. So powerful arms and press the floor away if you need. Or if that opportunity is there and you feel comfortable and you've been doing this a while now and you're okay, maybe you can just take the weight away from the palms. And maybe there's a little bit of trusting. A little bit of trusting just to sit down into the belly of the front thigh. Moving down toward the floor. You're going to take another breath. Good, and then start to bring the weight into the heels of the hands. Shoulders creeping forward as the hips guide you back. Bend the front leg, come back into downward facing dog. Okay, so now a little jump throughs, yogis. So remember, I want you to look to where you want to land. And don't worry if it doesn't happen. It's going to take a lot of practice, right? And that's the fun part about it. Don't get hung up on it. Don't give yourself a hard time. But look to where you want to be. Bend the knees. Bring the knees into your armpits. Take the weight into the hands. And send the legs out in front. Like magic. Okay. And we come back into Navasana, third round. So walk the feet in. Remember to be here if you need. Or alternatively, I'm going to ask you to take a hold of the outside edges of your feet. Bring the knees into the chest, find your balance. And then whilst catching the feet, begin to extend the legs up. Now, rather than dropping back into your spine here, think about bringing the shoulder blades together and press the chest forward. So there's a resistance. You're pulling into the feet at the same time you're kicking your feet into your hands. Finding your sweet spot. Either stay here, or whilst keeping the legs where they are, take the legs forward, the arms forward, looking beyond your feet for 3, 2, and 1. Well done, cross the feet. Bring the hands to the blocks. Lift up and lower. Final time, I promise. Okay, so knees together, lift the heels, reach the arms forward. Option, take the feet, lift legs, chest forward. Maybe you stay or you can release, take your arms forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done, cross the feet. Hands into the blocks, lift your feet. Well done. And then take the legs out in front. Give your knees a shimmy. Move your blocks, your support away to the side. Well done, ladies. Really well done. Come
come into a forward fold. And maybe you just want to let it be quite passive. Let your knees relax. Let your head dangle. Or maybe there's an activity. So taking the feet, willing the forehead to move to the shins, smoothing your breath. And then slowly rolling up, coming all the way to lie down. Bring the knees in towards your belly. Relax your shoulders. Give yourself a really big hug. You've worked incredibly hard in practice today. So give yourself a little reward, a little thank you. Thanking your body for being incredible, for moving in the way that you move. Keeping the right knee where it is, extend your left leg all the way forward. Let it rest entirely flat on your mat. Broaden both of the feet, the soles of both of the feet so they're active. Curl your tailbone up, right? So allowing the lower back to press down. Hugging the right thigh into the belly. Left foot active. Staying here for 3, 2, and 1. Left hand stays on the knee. Let's take a spinal twist. So let the knee roll all the way over to the left. Allowing yourself to roll onto the left hip. The right arm can reach away, shoulder height. Either looking up to the ceiling or looking over to the right thumb. Inhale. As you exhale, come back to center and then switch. Right leg down, left knee in. Both feet broad, hands to the left shin. Hug the thigh to the belly. And as you extend your right leg away, think about pressing through the lower back. And as you draw your tailbone up, almost like you're trying to point your tailbone toward the ceiling, there's a real invitation to lengthen the lower back. Kicking through your right heel. Good, inhale. Exhale into spinal twist, right hand to the knee, guide it over to the right side. Left arm reaches away, shoulder height. Take a breath. Use your exhale to return to center. And then allow the legs to draw out. Take your feet as wide as your mat. And maybe your arms can just rest away from the body. Maybe there's a pause here. Any last wriggles or fidget? Giving yourself utter permission to rest in Shavasana. Relinquishing any effort you've maintained over your breath. Release any hold you've had over your body now. And give your body complete permission to sink into the ground. Relaxing your bones. All the way from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Taking as long as you need to if you need or want to stay here any longer. Otherwise, I invite you to slowly bring your attention back to your body, into your toes, fingers. Moving your attention into your breath and take a deep inhale, maybe the arms reaching back as you point your toes forward. Exhale the breath out. Scoop the knees into your belly. Rolling over to one side and gently pressing your way up to seated. Bringing the palms together in front of your heart and allowing your internal gaze to bow to the fingertips. What a beautiful offering you've given yourself today, this time. What a beautiful gift you've given yourself. So being thankful for this opportunity to practice, this opportunity to learn, this opportunity to develop your practice, both physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. A moment of gratitude to our teachers past and present for sharing this ancient practice of yoga. And a moment of gratitude to our community for uplifting us and supporting us when we need. Let us come together with a chant of Om. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale to chant. And my eternal gratitude to you. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your practice. Much love. Namaste.